All right, boys and girls, we are going to color our Mr. Tiger Goes Wild, and you have his little face. We're going to use water-based Crayola markers. Now, when using markers, make sure the caps are snapped. Sometimes they dry out because people don't do what they're supposed to do. So for Mr. Tiger Goes Wild, I'm going to check something. I'm going to color him tiger orange. Oh yeah, that's what he wants, a tiger orange, because you know he's a tiger. Now there's no black in here. Notice how carefully I take my time and color, and I'm going to use the side of my marker. I'm not using, I use the tip for little spaces, but see how there's it's a point. I'm going to use the side to color it in, and I'm very carefully going to color him in by coloring the side. So you can do some big strokes. Also be careful you don't get a marker on your hands. So I'm going to very carefully, notice I'm not scribbling. So when we use markers, you want to kind of overlap. Being able to use marker, there is a skill set for this. There's two kinds of markers that people use that are common, I should say. There's actually all kinds of markers, but the two most common are water-based, meaning if I spilled water on this, it would bleed or the colors would run, but the technical term is bleed. There's no blood involved. It's just the ink moves because it's a water base. Water is used to make the ink in the markers. The other is alcohol, and I'm talking about the alcohol like Mrs. Jaworski would use to clean a wound for first aid, or before when you go to the doctor and they're going to give you like a flu shot, they put that alcohol on you. That's what the alcohol marker is made from, that kind of alcohol, and they add color or pigment to it to make the marker. So if you use an alcohol marker, which the most common one that we use are the Sharpie markers, which is what we use to do black. Why am I going through this and saying this? Because we use, I'm using a water-based marker for the colors, so the black ink will not go anywhere. That's really the main reason. Make his nose pink. So I'm going to keep coloring him in. And there's a Sharpie marker right here, which does not belong in there. That was for 3rd grade. They got me gravy. Lots of using the side of the marker. And you want to overlap. You don't want to have a bunch of crazy lines if we have the marker going in one direction. And usually the direction of whatever it is you're coloring in. So in this case, I have this big rectangle on top, and it actually works best if you blend the lines when they're wet. So wet into wet makes it. So you want to do long strokes as opposed to doing a bunch of little strokes. Take your time. If you see the marker is struggling, it's getting kind of scratchy, you can take another marker. Make sure you snap the cap. You put the cap on the back. I gotta show you good marker habits with markers. This is a juicy one, meaning that it's got lots of moist ink to kind of make it. There you go. So that's the hat. I'm gonna go ahead and color the rest of this. Oh, please don't push these markers in. Somebody was pushing too hard on that poor marker. What did that marker do to deserve that? Let's do blue. All right, there we go. Mr. Tiger goes wild. I'm gonna leave the background white because I think that emphasizes Mr. Tiger. And notice that I took my time and I was careful with coloring him in. I make sure there's a nice layer of color, and the different colors kind of make things pop out. I can't wait to see your Mr. Tiger.